Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I am going to do your December the 4th, just for today, in a meditation. I'm brought to you by H.O.O.D Navigation, and this is our H.O.O.D Recovery Services. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. So good to be with you this morning. I hope you're having a beautiful day, or going to have a beautiful day if it's early for you. All right. The title of this meditation is God's Will, Not Ours. We know that if we pray for God's will, we will receive what is best for us, regardless of what we think. That is taken from the basic text, page 46. By the time we came to NA, our inner voices had become unreliable and self destructive. Addiction had warped our desires, our interests, our sense of what was best for ourselves. That's why it's been so important in recovery to develop our belief in a power greater than ourselves, something that could provide saner, more reliable guidance than our own. We've begun learning how to rely on this power's care and to trust the inner direction it provides us. As with all learning processes, it takes practice to pray only for knowledge of God's will for us and the power to carry that out. The selfish, ego-driven attitudes we developed in our addiction are not cast off overnight. Those attitudes may affect the way we pray. We may even find ourselves praying something like, relieve me of this character defect so I can look good. The more straightforward we are about our own ideals and desires, the easier it will be to distinguish between our own will and our higher power's will. Just for your information, God, we might pray, here's what I want in this situation. Nevertheless, I ask that your will, not mine, be done. Once we do this, we are prepared to recognize and accept our higher power's guidance. Just for today, higher power, I've learned to trust your guidance, yet I still have my own ideals about how I want to live my life. Let me share those ideals with you, and then let me clearly understand your will for me. In the end, let your will, not mine, be done. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the wee version of the Serenity Prayer, please. Moment of silence now. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. What a powerful meditation. As I was reading it, can I just be honest here? As I was reading this meditation, I had two things on my mind. One was, why did you wait till the last minute to do this recording? And you're just waking up, drinking your coffee, and your thoughts aren't clear. So one thought was, why haven't you been more prepared so that you can have some coffee and wake up nicely and then go about the meditation? And the other one, if I'm just being honest, is, why didn't you write this? This is this is beautiful. This is beautiful. You could have written this. Those were the two thoughts that went through my mind. So when we're talking about God's will, not ours, clearly it wasn't his will for me to write this, right? And I needed some rest. I have been up in ER with two different family members and just arriving home around 2 a.m. And it's almost 6 a.m. So I needed a few hours of rest. And that's why I wasn't up recording this earlier for you. So, enough of that. Let's be serious about God's will, your higher power's will. The comfort that actually comes to me, I hope to you as well, by being able to embrace a higher power and have a place to turn to that is broader and wider and deeper and more spiritual and more healthy. And I have this source that I turn to, and I hope you do as well. I said that once, that I don't have to depend on just my knowledge anymore. And I don't have to just depend on what I think or what I want or what my will is anymore. Now, if your higher power is a group of people, or your higher power is the nature, or it's your art, or it's your singing, or something like that, you may use this is what I found because I have had seasons where my higher power was not the traditional American higher power, God, right? I've had seasons where I was very disconnected from God, and I would use my art, I would use my writing, I would use not singing, although I love to sing, but I would use um, spoken word poetry to connect me, uh, and center me and ground me. Uh, and it would be, I would even say dance. I don't know if I've said that. Um, it would be during those times that I'm engaging in those things that answers would come to me, solutions would come to me. And so I want to make sure that everyone listening understands that you have to have something greater than yourself, a power higher than yourself that can be any number of things, but you should have absolute complete confidence that that power has a greater knowledge than you do, and that it can give you the strength and the power to carry out its will for you. And you're willing to recognize and accept your higher power's guidance. Do you see that at the end of the third paragraph there? Because a lot of times we claim to have a higher power, and that sounds real spiritual, right? But if we look at the fruit of our lives, it almost as if we've plundered horribly following our own will. For me, I know there's seasons that you could not have told anyone that I love my higher power, that I love God, that I have a relation. You could not have convinced them. You couldn't, because the fruit of my life showed that I was an individual that was very self centered and self seeking. And I was making decisions that it seemed like every decision I make landed me in just one more mess, especially in the area of relationships. Today, I want for you to be thinking about your higher power's will for you and your ability to receive direction and accept it. I think that is where I want to challenge each and every one of you. Do you have that type of relationship with your higher power that you are able to recognize the direction that your higher power is giving you? and that you have a longing, a desire to accept it, that's really what I want for you today. Because when you get to that point, you will find that life is far more hopeful and pleasant than you can ever imagine. My name is MightyStream, and I've enjoyed this time with you. I hope that you will have the most beautiful December 4th that you've ever lived, and that today you will have a beautiful day on purpose. And only you can make that happen. Because if you don't make the best of every situation, you will find your situations are in control of you instead of you, with your higher power's help, being in control of situations, right? In other words, don't let your circumstances move you. You move them. Okay. My name is MightyStream, and I will be talking to you tomorrow.